Coming up on AC 24/7, cleaning up after the storm. While Florida's coastal and island communities are getting a lot of attention, many black and brown communities say they feel left behind. Plus, Adidas makes an announcement on its future relationship with Kanye following the White Lives Matter stunt in Paris. And we'll talk with the cast of Bling Empire about their upcoming third season. Welcome to AC 24/7. I'm Ricky Cornish. Hurricane Ian is now the second deadliest storm to hit the mainlands of the United States in the 21st century. At least 101 people have died. And as the search for victims continues, hundreds of thousands are still without power or water. Some in majority black neighborhoods feel they aren't getting the same help as others. The Advocate Channel's Randy Kay has more.
This is how high the water got inside. As you can see, it's going all the way across there.
Sharday Williams rode out the storm at home with her family in the River Park neighborhood of Naples.
But there was not one dry spot.
Sharday says the water from the Gordon River rose so fast and flooded her home in this historically black community. She showed me how the water came up above the fence out back and covered the dock. In the middle of the storm, she and others waded through deep water to get to higher ground at this nearby 7-Eleven. All the while terrified there were alligators or snakes in the water.
It was scary. Walking through water, not knowing what you could possibly get by with kids. It was just scary. It was very scary. And I would never want to go through it again. Never. It's heartbreaking.
2 hours later, she says police and fire rescue picked them up at 7-Eleven and dropped them at Coastland Center Mall nearby. She said they were soaked and left without any blankets or supplies.
I would think they would have brought some type of blankets or something, being that we all just walked through water. Wind was blowing like crazy. There's kids and stuff.
Do you feel like this community was sort of forgotten during the storm?
I do.
Multiple residents here in River Park, which is right on the water, told us they didn't receive notification to evacuate their homes. But the city of Naples told us the day before the storm, they ordered a mandatory evacuation, which included this community, telling us in a statement they reached out to thousands of residents. The notice was sent via email, code red, press release to all media outlets and neighborhoods, fire rescue app, and social media. The city says first responders did not go door to door in any neighborhood in the city of Naples. Curtis Williams lives across the street from Sharday. His house flooded and nearly everything he owns was destroyed.
Not one city employee, police or whatever, came through the neighborhood before the flood water and say it was a mandatory evacuation. Not one.
He says they easily could have driven through the neighborhood with a bullhorn telling people to leave. 21-year-old Trinity Williams, Sharday's cousin, says the floodwater came up to her chest. She's furious by what she calls lack of action from officials and emergency responders.
They seen the people yelling at the 7-Eleven, people swimming through the water, and they came, they seen, and they left. They came, they seen, and they left.
The city tells us their fire station 1 flooded during the storm and stopped responding. Also that their first responders were trapped in areas throughout the city as waters rose quickly. The city told us they sent a high water rescue vehicle to this community and drove 3 loads of residents to higher ground at the Coastland Center Mall. As numerous people in the area were trapped, the goal was to get everyone to safety and high ground, the statement said.
Excuse me.
And after the storm?
Did search and rescue teams come, or?
No, I have not seen. The fire trucks came. Now, they were bringing food and stuff, but not as far as trying to get people out or, make sure homes and stuff was okay. None of that.
The city said it's been helping provide food and water to the River Park community and helping remove debris. The local NAACP says the shelters were too far away for many in the community and others to get to before the storm, especially if they didn't have transportation. The organization also says the neighborhood needs a seawall. Many don't have flood insurance and they've lost everything. Rapper Kanye West is now trying to explain his White Lives Matter stunt during Paris Fashion Week. In an interview on Fox News, Kanye said he thought the shirt was funny. He's refusing to apologize for wearing the shirt. The Anti-Defamation League categorizes the phrase White Lives Matter as a hate slogan used by white supremacist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan. Meanwhile, Adidas says it will review its partnership with Kanye. West and Adidas have had an increasingly tense relationship in recent weeks, with the artist expressing dissatisfaction with how some of his shoes turned out. Adidas says it attempted to settle their differences privately. Gap terminated its partnership with Kanye last month. Well, this show focuses on the glamour and drama facing LA's ultra-rich Asian and Asian American communities. The Advocate's Rachel Smith sat down with the cast of Netflix's hit show, Bling Empire.
Ain't no shame to style on them. Ain't no shame to style on them. I'm feeling like I earned it the weekend.
Oh my goodness! Who has a closet like this? There's nothing more fun than fashion, champagne, and cheese.
Can you ever imagine, you start this first season, first of all, to get a reality show on Netflix, huge victory. To have it go now to 3 seasons, has it been a surreal experience?
I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, from the experiences, the moments we've shared on camera and in terms of our careers as well and our personal growth, it's just been so exponential and I can't wait for more. But at the same time, I'm just enjoying the moment. And I think we have 10 episodes this season and we get to share so much more with the world and also hopefully inspire the world a little more too.
Season 1, I feel like we all went in with a collective goal, which is to promote, diversity on television, to have a really good time, to tell authentic stories. As the seasons progressed, I feel like the goals started to be individualized and people had different objectives. Some wanted more screen time, maybe others wanted to become really famous, and others felt like it was their duty to stir things up. And so it just kind of got a little messy, but still nonetheless entertaining, I'm sure.
What the?
Oh, hell no! Andrew!
I'm in shock right now. That's awkward.
You guys have both mentioned not being able to see someone who represents you growing up on television. Have you had young boys and young girls come up to you and say how much that means to them personally?
Oh yeah. That's been the most gratifying part of this whole process, is having people of Asian descent come up, and of all ages, young and old, coming up and saying thank you. I'm like, thank you for watching. And they're like, no, thank you for representing us.
Now I can be on a show where I can be myself authentically, tell real stories that have everything to do with family, love, 2 things that we can all relate to be able to be an Asian guy and just tell human stories that everybody can relate to is wonderful.
Well said.
Hello.
Michelle, oh my God.
We're back. Yay!
Hold on. You may now hug it out.
And it's been great too. I don't want to give away too much, but hey, we got to sell the show. I mean, there's a lot of celebrity fans of the series. There's also some celebrities, Mila Kunis pops in. We see Chriselle. I mean, has that been fun to see how the series has grown and expanded, even in Hollywood?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, obviously we have the biggest queen, Rihanna. She loves the show. She's obsessed with it. We were just with her a few months ago, and she's like, Kelly.
Oh my God, I almost she saw me right away, and she knew who I'm, and then she knows my story, and I'm like, oh my God. It's Rihanna.
She's the biggest celebrity in the world, and she's the coolest and also a huge supporter for the Asian community. Huge supporter.
Gosh, it's been so nice, because in a time where some things seem to be going backwards, isn't it nice to see series that do show and breaking down stereotypes? It's like that we are going forward, and that's so well received.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, we still have I think a little bit long way to go. But Asian representation on mass media was so low, and now with Crazy Rich Asians, Squid Game, Bling Empire, we're just getting more and more, and it's so amazing.
What makes me happy too is there's so much going on in the world. We all see that on the news every day. So much crazy things, and then when fans message me and us and say, hey, your show brings us so much laughter, and it's like an escapism. It makes us feel good in the day that we're able to make people laugh, cry, and
laugh and cry at the same time.
You can inspire, educate, bring awareness, and entertain. And by the way, before I go, I have to say that's amazing hair. That is amazing hair. No, I'm just saying.
I wake up at 3 a.m.
Oh.
I'm doing that for the next junket. I'm doing that one for season 4. And what we're saying
you to that.
Right? Bring a spin-off to Vegas. Bring the whole show here, right?
We have to.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here.
Pride.com is making history with its first digital cover featuring the stars of the original series High School. The new streaming series is based on the best-selling memoir of the musicians Tegan and Sarah Quinn. Go to Pride.com for the full feature article on this historic cover shoot and exclusive behind-the-scenes footage. Thank you for joining us on AC 24/7. For content that advocates for you, go to advocatechannel.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and of course, subscribe on YouTube. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Ricky Cornish.